Hey guys, I wanted to share with you month 5 of the Minimalism program for 2013 Extreme Conditioning Challenge. And the material possessions I got rid of in those first few months. And ever since then, moving forward, what we're doing is working on your relationships and what you can do in your day-to-day activity to delete what's going on in your head. Minimize a lot of the crap that goes on in your head that you learn. And an outside source is television, month 4. Ditch your television. Month 5 right now, what I'm recommending you do is to eliminate gossip. And gossip is just an expression of what you have learned. And it's a very dysfunctional thing that we do to communicate as humans. Dogs don't sit around and gossip, for example. So if you're looking to become something more, instead of being a primitive animal that's very uneducated and passing on things that aren't true, that's what you're basically a chimpanzee that has learned to develop the vocal cords. Chimpanzees can't speak because they don't have enough vocal cords to have different pitches. To develop language, their brains are smaller. They communicate in other ways. Much like that, humans have developed the capacity to have language. So we have all this different dialogue through different language, and when we're communicating things with individuals, I'll give you an example. As you know, I've worked at a lot of fitness facilities throughout my career, and it's dominated by gossip and a bunch of toxic communication between people. And there's a girl. She's probably 30. But in the mind, very young. She loved to sit around and chit-chat, not about healthy things, not about dialogue on how to become better, but she would talk with clients and other trainers. Sorry about that, it's the dog. She would communicate with other people about gossip, about who's sleeping with who's dating who has this car, who has the money, all the things that go with consumerism, and trying to live a very superficial lifestyle. And so I saw her coming in one day, and I was educating my client, like I do in these videos, about how to find peace and love and happiness. It's authentic from within. And so she's coming in, I just say, I'll give you an example, it's completely random. And what I said was, hey, my girlfriend Renee, what I'm going to mention to you when this lady comes in is how I'm going to break up with Renee later tonight. And I knew the girl coming in would listen and go through the pipeline and start gossiping. And I predicted within 48 hours, Renee was going to find out. Hold on, cell phone's ringing. All right, guys, sorry about that. I just got a new cell phone, and it's one of those phones that's the cheapest phone I could find. It was 20 bucks over at Target. So my other phone took a fall and broke. So instead of going and buying one of those expensive phones, I bought that phone. So anyway, it just rang and I forgot to turn it off. So anyway, back to the story with Renee. So I told this story intentionally to prove a point to my client that I was going to break up with Renee later that night. And so the trainer found out through that pipeline. She went and communicated with this person, who then told that person, etc. Got back to Renee. And she called me, wanted to say, hey, if you're just going to do something like that, tell me up straight up. And it was that night. So it didn't even last 48 hours, which through the pipeline, I would assume it would take a little more of a delay. But I got the word later that night, and it was not early in the morning. It was later in the afternoon training that person. So, I had to clear it up with Renee, just tell her that it was part of the education, part of my program with the client, that I was trying to discuss what gossip can do, how toxic it can be. So what Renee could have done at that point would be to then start talking shit behind my back to her friends about what a dog I am and a womanizer. And you can take my word for it that that's happened to me quite a bit in the past, because people will automatically say, I'm not going to go talk to that person directly, I'm now going to start trouble on the other end. And that has to do with ego, of course. So as it relates to gossip, there's a significant difference between a healthy dialogue to grow as a person and to get on the same page with everyone and to spread a peaceful existence between truth. And on the other side of that, there's gossip, where it's emotional sickness, and that's why we have wars. That's why we have fights. That's why we have people on the bus punking each other out and wanting to take it outside, and all that garbage that young people do in the brain. Their brain's not developed. Or, of course, if you watch animals, they want to kill each other. They cannot coexist because it's all about territory. And so gossip is an incredibly poisonous thing that we do through language. It's a non-physical. If you can do physical, people go to that with primitive actions. A lot of women, that's why you see, and men do it too. I can't see a man being a man who sits around and gossips, but men, because they're physically stronger, use violence to do their gossip a lot of the time, although they also gossip. So overall, if you want to get rid of a lot of drama in your life, a lot of everything's based on fear when you gossip, and embrace peace and love and happiness, ditch your gossip, become an adult, have healthy dialogue instead of spreading rumors. I'll talk to you guys next month.